Welcome to the Wills Podcast. This is a space where we explore logistics, family business, leadership, and much more. Today on the podcast, we have Alain Menard from Hawkesbury, Ontario. Alain is the CEO of Green Beaver. Today we talk about the Buy Canada movement. We talk about the Green Beaver story, working with family, growing the business, and so much more. Glad you could join. Today the Wills Podcast is all the way in Hawkesbury, Ontario. I'm with Alain Menard, President and CEO of Green Beaver, and we just got done a tour, and so I've got so many questions to ask because we were on the floor, we were looking at production, we were looking at warehousing, we were in the lab, and so Alain, welcome to the Wills Podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
It's a spring Friday, and how has 2026 been on the natural healthcare products?
Whoa, what a ride. I mean, I can't forget to send Donald Trump a thank you letter. Unfortunately, it's had a lot of the whole tariff thing have had a lot of bad impact on companies, but some companies that actually helped. So in our situation, because, most of our competitors are American brands, and because, of course, we are a Canadian brand, even the name says Canada, right? It really gave us a big push, which is great because it just tells me how Canadians actually do care about products made in Canada. And as a result, we increased our sales force by, not the sales force, but just all employees by approximately 25% in 12 months.
Wow, that's big growth. And when you're looking to scale that quickly, you've got to source all those ingredients. You got to put the team in place, the shifts. You got to do your testing. Like you can't compromise any of the products when we're dealing with natural products with a lot of organic materials. It's not like you can just put more on the shelf, right?
Oh, no. You can't skip one step. You can't. But fortunately, it just happened to be that the year before, we had a group of process engineers that come into our plant because we were on a growth path, and they came in to look at all of our operation and say, okay, if you were to jump by 20, 40, 60%, what would you need to do to put in place to make sure you can make those products? So we actually had a plan. If sales go up, that's when you buy a second vat. That's when you get another pump. That's when you get another employee. So we didn't have to think, we just implemented.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many Canadians would sign on that thank you letter to Donald Trump, but
not many.
There are some nuanced things, right, where Buy Canada and tariffs have played a certain role that I think have elevated Canadian brands. This brand being one of them. So, Alain, the Green Beaver story. First of all, where'd the name come from? What year did you start? Tell us a little bit about Green Beaver.
Okay, the story behind the story?
The story behind the story.
Okay, right behind the curtains? Okay, here goes. Well, it all started this one day. I was washing the floor at home. And that was a rare occasion because I was the master of getting out, washing the floor. Oh, I got to go do something in the garage, But that one time I couldn't get out. I was caught. So anyhow, I get the pail and I start washing the floor. And all of a sudden, Karen lets go a yell. Karen, my wife. And it's not like her, So, whoa, what's going on? I thought maybe she caught me cutting the corners a bit, But no, we had a talk not that long before about starting a family. And right then and there, she had a vision. What she saw was a baby crawling on the floor that I had just washed, right? And what do babies do? Always putting their little fingers in their mouth. That's what they do. Not sure why, but that's what they do. And I had just finished cleaning this floor with some fluorescent green, purple, whatever cleaner. So she's thinking, whoa, the baby's putting that chemical in his mouth. That can't be good, right? So then it was like a mother instinct, I guess, kicked in. Need to get the nest ready. So it was from there that we decided, okay, you know what? We start looking at all the stuff we bring home. Look at all the chemicals that people voluntarily bring in their homes. People don't realize, people don't know, right? It's unbelievable. So we started looking at all these ingredients, and oh my God, no, can't have that anymore. Okay, it was a slow process. Like as we finish something, we replace it with some kind of natural yin yang, whatever, right? And they were hard to find. We're talking about 20. Well, we launched our products 2002, so it would have been a couple of years before at least, right? And so Cameron was
they're nowhere in the main stores. Like you're not able to find on the.
No, in those days there was very few. Just only specialty like health food stores, right? So yeah, and there was kind of a little bit of out of the way, and so that's when we decided. We said, okay, you know what? Karen's a biochemist. Here's an interesting story. She used to work for a pesticide company. Yeah, of all things, she was like pesticide queen during the day and Mother Nature in the evening. Not very yin yang. My God. Anyhow, she obviously quit her job to start Green Beaver. I did the same thing. And so basically we said, why don't we buy a couple of just one little heat plate, some beakers, a little mixer, and we created a lab at the end of the counter in the kitchen. So, and I'm a microbiologist, but from background, which came in handy for like trying to figure out natural preservatives, right? So we said, okay, well, we'll just start making our own products. We love cooking too, so we're always in the kitchen anyhow, right? So, and cooking is very similar than making personal care products. You're just mixing oils and things, So we start making our own little products, right? And just using whatever we had in the pantry, and then we get some other stuff. And well, then you know what happens? Can't close the door of the fridge. It's full of stuff, right? So we start giving it away to friends and family, and then it's like, oh, you guys, this is great. You should. So
what was the first thing you made? What was the first thing you were trying to make?
The first thing we wanted to make deodorant, aluminum-free deodorants. Karen was very adamant about not using the antiperspirants with aluminum. So that was one of the very first one. So it was just waxes and oils. So it's relatively straightforward. And we said, I was scared a bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We both had good jobs.
Where were you working? In
pharmaceutical as a microbiologist, and I don't know, she was so adamant about it, and I said, well, we'll take a deep breath and see what happens, Company name?
Yeah.
Oh, I lost on that one. Okay, so we wanted the company name to say Canada and natural, because we're making natural personal care products, right? So right away I thought, oh yeah, green moose, with the big antlers, and hey, there's nothing more Canadian than that. Green, well, we'll make him green, make him natural. More natural than, I guess, what he already is. And then Karen, oh, no. I mean, moose has big nose, they're ugly with their ears. Oh, cute little beaver, that's cute, So, well, you know who won that one.
Here we are.
Here we are, Green Beaver.
Well, it does. It speaks to both of those key elements of what you guys are doing, and also there's been since I've known you, it's probably a year and a half now. You're very Canadian. I think I'm Canadian, but you love Canada. Proud Canadian, bilingual, loves the outdoors. What was it like? What was it like growing up? How did you come to love and be proud of Canada so much?
Well, I grew up in a very small town called Green Valley. Nobody really knows it. It's right on the eastern tip of Ontario, not that far from Quebec. And growing up, remember in the days we didn't have cell phones or video games, and comics only played 1 hour on Saturday morning type thing, And of course, Walt Disney Sunday night. But so what do kids do? You play outside. Right? So I grew up fishing and always, building cabins in the woods. And so we're always outdoors, canoeing. That's just what people did. Oh, in the winter, of course, playing hockey, outdoor rink all winter. Oh, that was fun.
And where's like the inner child in you these days? What how do you clear your head? What sort of what part of or how do you enjoy Canada as an adult now?
Yeah. Well, in the summer, I'm a very big avid canoeer. I do whitewater canoeing, and I'm part of the Pierre Radisson Canoe Club, not too far from Montebello, which is not far from Hawkesbury, where we're located. So I like to do expedition. It's solo canoe. So it's just a small 12-footer with one seat. Oh, I got to tell you where I'm going in a month from now.
Yeah, tell me.
Oh my God.
With your new canoe?
Yeah. No, with another one. It's a whitewater canoe.
Yeah.
So it's made to go through rapids.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to drive right up to Sudbury, a little stretch, keep going, maybe an hour and a half, to a small town. It's really a train station called Cartier. So Cartier, Ontario. You can look it up. It's actually on the map. And there's a train track that goes up north. So that would have been like those old train tracks that, go up north to the mines and get the wood out and all that stuff. Well, it's still running. So in the summer, they have a train for passengers. But listen to this. They have a wagon for your canoe. So basically, we're going to go there. You put your canoe into the wagon, and then you go up to the wagon where they have seats, and they just bring you right up north, and they just drop you. Poop. There's nothing. Cell phones don't work.
Wow.
Nothing. So you go down river, and you basically canoe camping. So it'll take us like 5-6 days, and we stop, and you sleep, and make your fire, cook your food, and it's fabulous.
And so how much is rapids? Or is it mostly rapids?
That one is not too aggressive. There's like rapids are classified as 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want. So it's mostly class 1 and 2 rapids, and we'll probably meet I don't know, maybe 30, 40 rapids. And some of them are too big. You get into waterfalls there. So that you do the good old portage.
That's like James Bay. You can put your snowmobile on the train.
Yeah,
and take it up because there's no road. It's just the rail, so you can snowmobile. You can snowmobile in, train out, or train it in and snowmobile out.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. There's some outfits that do it. Every winter. There's a group from our town that did it this year.
Oh, they went right up.
You get a tour guide. Yeah.
Oh my God! And over there, are there trails, or they just go?
It's Cochrane to James Bay. I just can't think of what the town is right on the main town.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much of Canada to explore. So, what was the first commercial product that officially had the label on it and was available for sale?
Yeah, so the first one was an aluminum-free deodorant. So we've been making these here for 24 years. And then toothpaste. The reason, Karen really wanted an aluminum-free deodorant, okay? Toothpaste, white toothpaste. Well, back in those days, we didn't have the luxury of having a lot of natural preservatives. And then toothpaste and the deodorant, there's very low water activity, which means the bugs have a hard time growing in it. So it's easier to preserve. So that's what we came out with, and then followed with lip balm. And then finally, when we figured out how to create some natural preservatives, because we don't use any chemical preservatives or dyes or colors and all that stuff, then we came out with, Karen wanted her like face cream and, face cleanser and things like that.
So this is really about Karen and how she wanted to take care of herself and have good products, right?
Oh yeah.
And you came in with some of the science and
yes. We'll combine with Karen and products that we came out that were really more for ourselves. And there's one we just discontinued it, but I do have a stash at home. It's a cilantro mint toothpaste.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
I've got the
gene.
The gene. I've got the gene.
8% of population that for you it tastes like soap, right?
I love Mexican food, lots of cilantro. I love Asian food, lots of cilantro. So yeah, I have to sound that annoying person. Say, please. No
oh boy, anyways, I eat cilantro and everything.
Maybe the toothpaste is different.
Yeah, well, for cilantro lovers, they loved it, but but you have to be a big amateur of cilantro, and unfortunately, there wasn't enough for us to continue making it. But
Yeah.
cilantro mint toothpaste. I remember bringing it to health food stores, and they thought it was a little bit weird, but it did sell. But the other one was a toothbrush sanitizer. Now, being a microbiologist, I'm a little bit maybe finicky about bugs.
Yeah.
So, and it always bothered me, like, when you leave your toothbrush in the washroom, worst place. And I was reading a study where they took people's toothbrush and they sent them to the lab to see if there's any bacteria in there. Oh my God, it's full of like E. coli, coliforms. Of course, it's in the washroom. When people flush, it creates a little mist and the bacteria will go and then they end up on your toothpaste. And this disgusted me, right? When people use a spoon, they wash it after before they eat it again? They use it again? Toothbrush? No. People just put their thumb across it. It's pretty disgusting. So I came out with the idea, toothbrush sanitizer. It was these citrus lemon seed extract, and it showed that if you you put it on your toothbrush, it would kill like 99% of the germs,
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, Karen, this is going to be so big, it's going to make all the other products look small.
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself. We need to get when people find out, it's going to be crazy. And here I went and I had it and I went to all the health food stores and everybody thought it was a good idea. They all brought it in, and put it on shelves and things, but I don't know. People didn't get it. Sometimes we brought something out just for ourselves.
People like the germs. What's interesting is like there are probably so many different things like toothbrush and bacteria that people don't know about, but it's like, how much do we invest in education versus what people are just going to consume anyways, and are they going to go to that level of education and reading on different things, but to sit as a founder and as a creator and as a scientist and be passionate about things, but not everyone get that or be able to get that much information, to educate the buyer. By the way, I think, is it Chantel at the desk?
Yeah.
I think she could tell what story you were telling because she just was looking over laughing about the toothbrush.
Yeah. She knows that one.
You guys work pretty close together. I'm sure
Yeah.
Different stories and things like that. So, what was it like? What was it like the day you decided you were going to resign or give your, you had a cut?
Oh my God!
You probably had a good paying job, and so like, what was that moment like for you and Karen?
That was scary.
Was it?
The worst?
What year?
It's when I told my parents.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! It would have been around 2000 and in 2000. Oh, my dad thought I was, what are you doing? So finally, I told him, you know what? If it doesn't work, I can always go back. So that kind of appeased him, and actually, he got involved in the company. So my dad had been a diesel mechanic all his life, and so he retired a little bit early, and he was like taking care of all the operations, which meant, for example, he built a slide to go in the basement anyways, all the shelving. So we actually turned the basement at home into a warehouse. That was the first warehouse. So we did a hole from the garage that's tied to the house so that we can bring the product out, So he's 82 and he's still working at Green Beaver today. Manages a warehouse.
Really?
Yeah.
And so is that the warehouse with some of the packaging?
Yeah, the empty packaging, especially because they take a lot of room, and we're a little bit tight with room right now.
So like tubes and deodorant.
Yeah,
cases.
deodorant sticks, bottles, carton. That takes a little bit less room because they're flat when we get them, But still,
who does the toothpaste box for you? Where are they from?
Oh, geez, I'd have to ask our director of operations, but it would be most likely in Montreal probably in Montreal. It would be somebody in Montreal.
Yeah, shout out to your marketing team and packaging sourcing purchaser because it's a nice clean box. I like the black maple leaf.
Yeah.
Do you know what else uses? There's very little use of the black maple leaf, but
I didn't know that.
The military bumper sticker. If you work in the military, there's a special sticker that I see with veterans, and it's a black.
I didn't know that.
It's a simplified. Canada thing, Canada flag. So
Yeah, we play a lot with colors.
yeah, it's unbelievable. What is hey, this one here, this one. So we got 990 milliliters.
Yeah, not 1 liter.
What is Castile? Pure Castile soap. So this is an all-in-one here, which I'm guessing has been around for a while. What makes it Castile?
Okay, this is quite an interesting story behind this one here.
French word or Spanish word?
Spanish, and basically it's a traditional soap. This would have been soap way back when soap was invented. And it's Castile because it was invented in the Castilian region of Spain. And at that time, there was a lot of olives growing in that area. So with olives comes olive oil. And I always pictured in my mind that it's a guy that probably played a prank on one of his friends. You know, they're probably sitting there with a couple of pots of big of olive oil in there. And he probably said, his buddy probably said, mine tastes better than yours. Oh, yeah, okay, you know. I always imagine he took a little bit of wood ash and put it in his olive oil, right? And not knowing that in olive oil you have caustic acid, lye, if you want. It's part of in wood ash. So by putting the wood ash in the olive oil, it basically creates a reaction where the fat globules, I'll keep it simple, are cut up and it becomes soap. And it's highly concentrated soap. This is the kind of soap that they would have been using gazillion years ago. And in those days, they didn't have a soap for like their car, soap for their floor, soap for their face, soap for their body. There's soaps for everything today, right?
Yeah, one for the wagon and one for your armpits.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is an all-in-one. So basically, it will work on everything. Because it's concentrated, if you're going to use it as a body wash, you just dilute it. So we have recipes on our website there. You dilute it. If you're going to wash your floor, maybe a couple of ounces in your pail.
Yeah.
But what happens with time is that I don't measure anything anymore. You just get to know how to use Castile soap. It's like, okay, this is dirty laundry, pretty dirty. I'll give it 3 squirts, you know? And everybody that I know that uses Castile soap can't do without it after. It's so versatile.
So people put it in the washing machine?
Washing machine, wash your floor, toilet, car.
Oh. How many ingredients?
Well, basically it's 2. There's
Like
sunflower oil.
Yeah.
Because it grows here. We have coconut oil. And then you have your scent. It's very simple. And of course your lye. It's a very simple product. Not that easy to make, because when you add the lye in it, and you're whipping your oil, it becomes into a paste, like hard soap. And then we add the water to make it liquid soap. Okay.
What's the main science? Like I'm so uneducated in this area, but like when you've got an oil and you need to mix some ingredients with it. Like how is that not separating with the ingredients? Like oil seems to, I see oil in a pan or in water. It seems to want to be on its own. Like how does that
very, very good observation, because there's no water. It's concentrated. So, if we were to add, we add the water where the paste becomes a liquid, right? But we don't add any more. If you were to continue adding water, eventually it would separate. This is like, as a liquid form, if I was to evaporate some water from this, it would become hard again, like hard soap.
Yeah.
Usually, like most soaps on the market, they use like surfactants. It's basically a soap that's made from petrol. So they make these chemical soaps and then they add water to it. But usually soaps, it mixes with water. The oil is saponified. It's not real oil anymore. It's become soap. So if I want to get it technical, we have a triglyceride, 3 fatty acid chains. So the lye cuts the fatty acid chains. There's a potassium that attaches to the chains. The triglyceride becomes glycerin. If people heard of glycerin, glycerin comes from oil. So the glycerin, it just it's in the product. It's like a result of the reaction. And that's soap. It's not oil anymore.
Amazing.
A lot of science behind products.
science.
It's unbelievable.
Speaking of science, there was a big aluminum-free movement. I forget when it was. When did that major study come out, and how did it change the antiperspirant industry?
Well, it came out maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But when you do a study and you find something, you have to repeat it. And it's challenged by other scientists, make sure that the study was done well. So basically, Karen and I thought this back 25 years ago, whatever, that, conventional antiperspirant use these very, very refined aluminum. And they're usually chemically treated. And there's like aluminum zirconium, chlorohydrate. They're so small, the way that it works is that when you apply it, these small particles actually get into your pores, your sweat pores. We all have sweat pores. The reason we haven't is because when you're too hot, your body releases water to cool down your body temperature. That's why we sweat. So basically, the aluminum gets into those small pores. And we always thought, oh my God, those pores are so small. We were concerned that maybe it would get into the body. You don't want like chemically treated refined aluminum going through your body, right? But I remember the industry was always saying, oh no, none gets into the body, blah, 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 But so eventually somebody figured out, said, you know what? Because you can consume aluminum from different sources, right? So what they did, they took the aluminum that's used to put into the antiperspirant and they put an isotope on it. So it's like a marker, right? So they took blood tests from people, checked to see what they have, okay? Then they applied the antiperspirant, and then they take a blood test after. And what they found was aluminum from that antiperspirant in the people's blood. So that means it's getting through the pore, picked up by your circulatory system. And imagine that aluminum is just zoom going through your brain. And we know the study has proven, and this is in a published medical journal, that people with Alzheimer have a higher incidence of aluminum than people that don't, right? I'm not saying it comes from the antiperspirant, but if it's going through the blood, and it goes through your kidneys, and your kidney eventually will try to get rid of it. So the study showed that, there was that aluminum from the antiperspirant in those people that we tested it on. I mean, that's not good. And worse, they did a second study where they asked people to shave, and then they apply it, and then they again test how much aluminum was in their blood. It was 6 times more than the ones that did not shave. Now, these, mind you, are small amounts, but small amount of a toxin is not good. So the FDA, a couple of years ago, they forced all companies to put a mandatory caution, warning, on all antiperspirants in the States. And some of those companies are American companies, and they actually, if you go to a pharmacy, start looking at a conventional antiperspirant, they added the same warnings to it because they know what's going to come. The warning is, if you have kidney problem, you ask your talk about your doctor before using that product.
Wow. Because
you need your kidney to get rid of the aluminum. So if your kidneys are not functioning well and you keep putting basically aluminum in your body every day, you can get up to toxic levels. And the other warning is kind of a funny one, but I don't get it. But do not apply on broken skin, which means after shaving. I don't know why they don't just put don't apply after shaving, but whatever. The reason is they did in that study, they found that there was more, right? So, people don't know it, but that's a fact.
You guys were definitely early on in you had your own personal conviction before being swayed. It wasn't like somebody came and said, hey, it's gonna be so easy, you're gonna make a lot of money, you need to do this, right? It's like it's a passion. It's like there's a conviction about how you want to live and what you want to expose your body to, and then there's actually doing something about it, right? And that's so interesting that you started in your kitchen, shipping from your basement and garage. Hey, Karen seems like a real partner to you. Since I've known you, you can't give an update without about talking about your co-founder.
Yes,
sounds like best friend, and what's that like?
Best friend and boss. Well, don't forget, she's the one that really was pushing for all of this, and Karen has been like, she stopped working. She has some medical issues, that's genetic. And I remember at one point I said, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I said, well, I want you to, we started this. You're going to continue. I think it's because she didn't want me in the house all the time, but whatever. So yeah, no, she said that's what makes us happy. So keep going.
It's neat to have a partner, right?
Oh yeah.
She's in your corner.
Yeah, I always debrief her end of day every day. What's going on. This always has good advice.
What does she still have? What does she have a strong opinion of? Like, even though she's not in here and in the operations, she's obviously still supporting the company in many different ways, right? From supporting you. And so, like, what are the topics that she still likes to talk about? Like new product development, or how sales are going, or marketing, packaging. What is she particularly interested in hearing about?
When I'm going to take more vacation. Well, just about everything, about the people, a lot about the people. For us, the culture is extremely important. I don't want to, I'm doing this there. I don't want to come here and having like like a toxic environment. No. I want people to, let's be happy. When we're here, let's be happy. I mean, most people spend most of their time at work. So, I worked really hard to make sure that we have a very nice environment. Everybody's friendly. There's an issue, we just table it, And I'm very proud that we built that culture. And when we have visitors and we go through, they sense it. Just by the way people are talking to each other. It's a different place, unique place, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. So do you think that's part of your part of your personality and how you lead, so that was one question. The other question is, like, how do you put that into your leaders? Because it can't just be one person. Like, you, at a certain point in the business, one person leading with culture and how you want to be treated and talked to and work expectations. But then as you scale to having a director of operations, right, is how do you keep that culture going? So what's that been like?
Well, it all starts with the senior management team. And I make sure we sit down together every week, right? And it's just how we talk to each other, how we interact, I've kind of set a tone. Cards on the table. Let's be authentic, We're just being like good Canadians. And we're all good co-workers, And then that just trickles down. It just trickles down.
Yeah. And when the first time, because I know that you have been proactive on working on yourself and working on the business. So, like, when was the first moment where you invited someone in to give you some sort of like coaching or your leadership team advisory? And then the question I have with that was, what happens when somebody asked you to define the culture around here? Like, what are the values? When you, like, someone to help you actually articulate it?
Yeah.
What did you come up with? What did you end up coming up with in terms of like things around values when someone pushed you on it and asked, hey, what are the actual values here?
Yeah, and to think about it, I never sat down and put on paper, okay, this is the environment that I would like to work in and that would be enjoyable for everybody. I never wrote it down. It was just naturally the way that it,
But we didn't write down our values until we were 68 years old. Company.
My God, yeah. And actually, I didn't write a business plan until 15 years in the business.
Yeah.
When I think about it. I mean, if you want to put it down in writing, look at your employees. And look at an employee that, wow, that's perfect fit. And look at their values, how they interact with everybody. That's where you'll get your values. And then write down what you like about that person, that employee.
Yeah.
So, you have, oh, geez, if everybody was like that person, everybody,
Yeah.
It's, when we started business, for a long time, it was like a lifestyle company. We're having fun, developing products, still having fun developing products, bringing it out, health food stores. And I spent a lot of time in gardening, because I have big gardens, greenhouse and the tractor and all the toys that come with it, We used to have chickens and all that stuff. So I used to spend a lot of time also. That was almost like a second job.
And do you still garden?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to make it shorter. I say that every year, but yeah, we'll put some more. Oh yeah, we used to can, and we're all equipped. Almost industrial. Oh my God.
I had a neighbor move to the area from Toronto to Smiths Falls, and he moved. He moved for two reasons. One of them was they could sell their house and get something bigger with more property, which is like very common in Eastern Ontario, to
Yep.
be able to leave the GTA and get more property for less than what you
Yes.
sell for. So he did that. He needed to be close to the Heart Institute for a condition he had.
Yes.
So those were the two things. I see the garden go in, then the greenhouse goes in. Then
That's a disease.
Yeah, and now he's got greenhouse 2.0, bigger, higher.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard.
And you know what?
Scaling back is almost impossible.
I tell him, yeah, I'm like, you tell me, and I talked to his wife too. I'm like, you tell me when we want to do an intervention here before the whole backyard. I'll help with an intervention. How did you go from wearing, okay, you put on the scientist hat, microbiologist, and then building a team, and then sales, like, how did you wear those hats, and at what point did you realize that you needed, what was the first hat you had to take off as an entrepreneur and business owner and let someone else run with it because they're going to do a better job? Because you wore like, how many people would be involved in like each of the experiment of these ingredients and how they react, but also then selling and a team to do it. So what was the first hat you had to take off and get to someone else?
Oh my God. Well, I never had the finance hat.
Yeah.
Karen had more of affinity for that. And so the first hat would have been production. And actually, our director of operation, Julie Hébert, she's been here, oh my God, I don't know, 15 years. So, because it's kind of fun too to go in production. You have big vats, put all the ingredients and you mix, and it's like, yeah, but I had to let that go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then I love sales and marketing. I never let go of the formulation. I have employees, scientists in the lab, of course, but I still manage to still work closely with the R&D team. Mm-hmm. It would have been, I love sales and marketing. Which one came first? Sales. Let go sales. And eventually let go marketing, which is good because marketing is very complex nowadays with social media.
Yeah, moving quick, man. Moving quick.
Oh my God, Before, okay, we'll do a little brochure and things and deliver it to the stores, that was basically the marketing, So, yeah. So now, but you know what? It gives me more time to think, I guess, of, new product development. Oh, I like to meet all the clients. I go to all the trade shows. Actually, I go with the employees and I help them set up the booth. That's a magical time when you can talk and laugh, I like to go meet a lot of our clients.
Yeah.
The retailers. I like to touch base, whether at the trade show or once in a while I'll go do a little tour. The last one was Alberta, Vancouver. Then I went to Alberta. I did Calgary in the surroundings. And it's just fun to go in the store and you talk to people that are actually like, they're selling a product, mm-hmm. And you can learn so much, Say, hey, what's going on in the toothpaste? What are people asking for, or for creams? What are the scents that people are into right now, mm-hmm. That's so important.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's a huge thing for you to teach your team is like, don't get too far from the customer because the questions they're asking and they're like, make sure we're staying, and trade shows probably help with that. And then customer experience. And what was the first, so of the products, what was the first big store you got into?
Well, the first stores would have been health food stores like the Natural Food Pantry in Ottawa. Because we're right in between Ottawa and Montreal, right? So Montreal would be a store like La Moisson, mm-hmm. So what happened is that we got into the health food stores all in the Ottawa, Montreal region, made it to Quebec City, made it to Ottawa, Toronto. But then it came to a point when, like, the demand for those type of products was growing too, right? So we got a distributor. So we started shipping out west, Vancouver, everywhere, So we were right across the country. And then the demand for these type of products became much bigger that the big grocery stores started listing them. So they had like special natural section. So then we got into the big grocery stores. And around, I don't know, 8 years ago, maybe less, maybe 6 years ago, pharmacies now are starting to list natural products because the demand is there.
Yeah.
So we kind of grew,
Yeah. Congratulations for getting into Shoppers. I know that's a big one. And you want to expose, so you got a good product, and really believe in it. You want to make it accessible, but it takes time to get that shelf space, right?
Yes, and we were getting some, and then with the tariff thing, they offered us more shelf space. So that's also is contributing to the growth,
Yeah, the Buy Canada movement happened quickly, and you got a call to go to Toronto to go speak about it. This was back in the fall.
Yeah, in the fall, it was the Elbows Up event.
Elbows Up?
Yeah.
Downtown Toronto?
Downtown Toronto.
How'd you get that? Who called you to come down to that?
It was a mutual friend of ours, Jonathan Westendy, who invited me. His wife, Sue, was organizing it, So he invited me and got to meet Jim Cuddy, and Arlene Dickinson was there on stage with us. And they invited me. I was just the objective was they wanted to highlight a company where buying Canadian-made products actually has an impact, right? So I was speaking on behalf of all the Canadian manufacturers, right? And like I told them, hey, folks, you know what? When each time you're buying Canadian products, you're helping us to create more jobs. I mean, if we're going to lose some because of the tariffs, well, if we buy more Canadian, we can compensate.
Yeah.
And it does work. We've been hiring, and people really loved it was a warm heart-filled, story. So it's that was quite a great experience. Wow.
It's a great partnership, Canada-US, when it's working well. But in a scenario like that where there's some withholding or unnecessary negotiations, it's like, well, we're doing this because you were good at that, we were good at this, we were selling, you were selling here, and it's like, well, if we're not partnered in this, then what's the point? And so,
we're going through a rough patch, but
we're going through a rough patch.
It's gonna come back together, But there's also, to support local, Canadian-made products. That should always continue. I mean, that's good for us, and also, I encourage people, companies also to look elsewhere. Like right now, we started shipping to Philippines. We're shipping. We're just doing a test right now in Mexico. There are other places that want Canadian products, and for us, don't forget, we make natural products. So other countries, they see, a Canadian natural products. They see the Canada as wholesome. Forests, rivers, lakes. It goes well with Green Beaver.
How does the test work in Mexico? Do you basically have to decide, okay, we've got some contacts, we may have a place for this to land. We're basically this is all promo type stuff. Like how do you do that?
Yeah, so basically, first of all, I work with this courtier, like a broker in Toronto that works with the Chinese. We also sell in China, just limited, but it's online only. With Mexican retailers, right? He represents a lot of Canadian food brands. And he came to talk to me. He said, I can represent Natural Personal Care too. And I remember we were at a trade show in Toronto, a Canadian Health Food Association show, and he actually brought a buyer from a grocery chain from Mexico. So, and she was interested. So what we just do like a floor display, and we just shipped it there last month. So we sent it to them, and they're going to put it in 20 stores, and they're going to see if it sells. And if it sells, then want to buy more but put it on the shelves.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without sharing all the details, but does that broker say, hey, if you're willing to send this stuff, we'll see how it does? And we'll...
But usually the broker will have already sold the retailer on testing it. So he would have presented our products. At this time, the buyer was here in Canada. And then, yeah, you just test it. If it sells, then they place a PO and then get it going. It's like in the Philippines, we're in a chain of 30 stores, grocery stores. It's been going on like 4 years.
Yeah.
So every year they have 2 orders a year, send it out on the container. And no, people like it. People around the world love Canadians, Canadian products, good quality products,
So can you send a display like to Mexico, for example, to these stores?
Yeah.
And can it basically be a display with a few of each products? A few, or like a few different items?
Some of them, it depends if some stores don't want displays, they just want to give you a shelf space,
right?
But if they wanted it, oh yeah, of course.
You could build out deodorant, soaps.
Oh, yeah. We can tailor the mix to their needs,
Whose crazy idea was maple syrup lip?
Yeah. This is as Canadian as it gets.
Canadian
right?
as it gets.
But there's a problem with
Green Beaver, maple. What other words could we throw into that?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
You lick your lips?
Yeah. The problem with this, you know what? You end up eating it all the time. That's the problem. It doesn't last long because you eat it. It tastes so good, right? This is a funny story. So we work with suppliers of ingredients, obviously. And there was one from Montreal, one of the ingredients that is in product. And she was so happy that we had chosen her ingredient, their ingredient, right? And it's a moisturizing ingredient. And anyhow, so we were showing her, and so we gave her some product to share at her office, right? And she had a colleague who was married to a Chinese lady who took one of the samples, sent it to her friend in China. And there was some kind of social media things where I didn't really get it, but they got on some kind of platform,
Okay.
And all of a sudden, it got really popular. So we were shipping like pallets of this lip balm to China. I guess they love maple syrup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's your marketing team trying to be present on? Like, how's the TikTok scene? And
we're not on TikTok yet. It's mostly the one they like the most is Instagram and Facebook. Of course, it's always there. But what else? We want to start an educational series to put on YouTube. So it'll be, why should you use aluminum-free deodorant? Or why should you use toothpaste with natural xylitol and hydroxyapatite? You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're going to start doing that probably next month. So we'll have a whole series. They'll do that. We're going to be working with somebody for PR.
Yeah.
We've got lucky in the past. We did get on the news. I was even interviewed by Ian Mensing. Wow, that was amazing. That was stressful. I thought I was supposed to be sitting behind a desk. No, we were standing there and there's all these people walking around. He's so cool. He's a cool cucumber guy.
Where were you?
Vancouver. I told you I did that tour.
Yeah.
I landed in Vancouver. And I get a call. They must have got our number from Chantal there. And it was CBC. And it was somebody said, I work on the Ian Mensing show there. News part. We'd like to interview a company like yours just to show that it's not all negative. It's not all the tariff things. It's a lot of it is negative, but there's some positive. And they just want to show people, not always talk negative, but show some positive impact. So, I said I can't. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm in Vancouver because I thought he was in Toronto. No, he's in Vancouver. He said, no, we're in Vancouver. I'm in Vancouver today. So really. Yeah, so 4 hours later, I'm there in the studio.
Really?
Yeah, what a coincidence. That was too much.
Wow. At what point in your career did you realize that you needed the best thing for you in the company was to work on yourself. Like you have put yourself in environments of learning.
Whoa! Yeah.
Like for example, I met you through tech, which is
Yeah.
a CEO forum where you're
Yes.
learning from each other, working on yourself. Like, at what point did you say, okay, if we're gonna do this, I need to make sure I'm learning, growing, thinking, reflecting. Like what?
Yeah, you know what? It's when you get to a certain size where it's getting big,
Yeah.
you know, and you need different skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're small and you come out with a product, you know, like cilantro mint toothpaste. Oh, I still miss that product. Well, and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. But as you get bigger and you start doing things that doesn't work, it can really hurt the company.
Bigger risk. Yeah.
It's bigger risk, and then it's a different ball game. It's like playing junior, or then you go play American Hockey League, then you go to NHL. It's 3 different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You need different skills. It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
You know, everything's faster, harder. You know, so it was getting to be a lot, and I joined that tech group, and what I love about it, you're basically learning from the others. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to a meeting and say, "Hey, I'm having a difficulty. I'm facing XYZ
Mm-hmm.
issue." Well, most likely there's somebody in the room
Yeah.
that's been through the same thing.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just learning from the other. It's really peer learning. That's what it is. That's the best learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's not theory. That person went through that.
Yeah.
He got through it by doing X, Y, Z. It's really okay. You know, you save yourself a lot of time and frustration.
Mm-hmm. That's probably a big step though for you to say, okay, now I'm going to invest money and dollars into my training.
Yeah.
To make sure that we can position the continue to position the company in the right spot.
Yeah, but you know that's we eventually did write down values.
Yeah.
You know, and one of our values, and people sometimes look at me kind of weird when I say this, at Green Beaver, and every employee knows, we do not believe in perfection. It doesn't exist. You can always do a little bit better. Because the day, like I tell the employees, the day we think that something is perfect, it just plateaued. You know, that applies to individual. Yeah. If you think, well, you do everything perfectly, I don't, you know, well, you're never gonna continue to grow. You know, so it's so I was really already very open to it. You know, I was just happy to have found it.
That's neat. And in the group, it's really fun having you in the group because you've seen me, I've seen you. We've already, in the last year and a half, we've already been through, you've been through a cycle of growth.
Yes.
We've been through a cycle of reflection as a company.
Yes.
And where we want to head. And then you start pairing up the stories and somebody willing to share, this is what we went through. And like, when we switched over to McKay, there was a big emphasis on, you know, only speaking when you have experience with something. And so sometimes you've got something to share and sometimes you don't. But I think it is pretty critical for the leader to have those moments away from the office to be thinking about the business, right? I'm amazed actually, like how much I've, not that I've so far from knowing everything at all, but there's been like 2 or 3 huge learning curves that I didn't see coming, right? And so then to take that and to voice that, articulate that. What am I feeling about what's going on right now? Where do I feel deficient or frustrated or confused? And then someone's like, and I've had people come up to me after sharing about a work challenge and been like, I was there. This is what. So it's really neat to and the commitment to work on yourself. And for our company, we have 2 values that speak to it. One of them is called People Matter.
Yeah.
So People Matter is first and foremost, from a health and safety perspective, you need to feel this is a really safe place to come to work, right?
Yeah.
That we walk the walk, and we're also inviting people to be part of making this a safer environment. But then in terms of People Matter, I feel I have an onus on the company that if somebody wants to get ahead, wants to develop, wants to grow themselves, that we should provide that, because that's what I would want in a company. I would want to know if I raise my hand and say, I need to improve in this, or I want to grow in this, or I want to learn this. That's the sort of thing that we need to take advantage of, right? So, yeah, big proponent. So
Yeah, because if you grow yourself, but then your employees are not growing with you,
yeah,
that's no good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I too. I believe very much into that.
Yeah. So you, just going back to one thing, you have the entrepreneurial spirit, you and Karen. Did you start any other businesses?
Yeah, there was one. It wasn't planned. It was during pandemic. It was so boring. You couldn't go visit clients. Wasn't time to develop, come up with new products. You know, all we were doing is soap and hand sanitizers. You know what I mean? It was getting boring. And I thought, oh, you know what? I need something. I need something stimulating, right? And like I mentioned, I graduated in microbiology, but I took a lot of a food microbiology course. So it's when you use bacteria, yeast, or mold to make food, beer, wine, cheese. I love cheese. So I decided it was time, you know. So I started a fromagerie. So we make all organic, fine cheeses. So of course we have the classic Canadian cheddar, aged. But we make things like Brie, Mamirol, Saint-Paulin, of course, a Bleu, you know. So we make all these different. So that was fun. It was fun to do something different. And, you know, right now, because I'm too busy with Green Beaver, with the whole growth spurt that we had. But my plan is, okay, well, I can bring them to the health food stores because I know all the clients, you know. Some of them I've known for 24 years. So that's the next stage. Yeah. It's fun sometimes to try something different.
So is there a cheese shop here today in town?
Oh yeah, it's right up the road here on the left, maybe just a kilometer up. So it's there, and you'll see the aging rooms, you know. So we like to age the cheese well. And
like, how do you start a company that involves years of aging, and you're like, I got a plan, but the product won't be ready for a while. Obviously,
there's some young cheese too. Yeah.
But still, though, the stuff that you want to experiment with and try is like,
oh, you gotta be patient. Oh, I know.
When we were in your lab and there was some names of new product development, I was just thinking, man, Alain must be patient, because if you know that there's an awesome opportunity, but you need to go through all of the steps and all of the testing. And testing is, you've got a 3-month test, right? With heat.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're just like, I want this product to get to market, whatever.
Yeah.
But you want to do it the right way. And that's one thing that with Green Beaver, I'm so impressed with, is like the commitment to quality, like the products in the warehouse. Like, I love reading labels because we're in warehouse logistics, and like we love labels.
Yes.
As weird as a thing is, because it could tell you so much, and you're seeing, okay, how much is trying to get on here? What labels for compliant, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I'm reading labels, and the quality of products you guys buy and your commitment to the process, like you can't rush anything here if you're committed to the value proposition of the product and what you want to put into people's hands in terms of the natural sources of it. And it's unbelievable, but it means that you have to be patient, like cheeses. What's with you doing things that take time?
I don't know. And I'm usually getting a little bit impatient, but I guess I'm more patient than I think.
Maybe that's where your hobbies come in. Like, rapids are here and now, right?
Yes. And the reason I do canoe camping and gardening is to balance myself out, you know, because I live like 5 minutes away from here in the countryside. And sometimes, you know, it's fun there. Your mind is just going, okay, you're in formulation. Then, there's sales, and then there's this. And get home, and it's nice to have a little break. Now, another thing that I do in the winter, don't do much canoe camping in the winter, it's the wood carving. I love wood carving. So I got a little wood stove in the basement there, and I go and I do all these spoons and spatulas, you know. That is so, because you're so concentrated, right? And you're doing this, you're just gonna make sure you don't cut your fingers. That's why you're so concentrated.
Yeah.
Right? I'll do that for a half hour there. And I can be a little bit exhausted from work. And after doing that, I go upstairs. I'm like fully re-energized. it's like, what do they call it? Mindfulness. It's like meditating.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of that. It's just amazing.
Yeah. I haven't found that thing yet, like other than
You haven't that? No, yeah,
exercise,
yeah.
no. No, like I can watch my wife do a puzzle and you can tell that she's recharging and so there's
Yeah.
something going on, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I haven't found that thing at home.
Yes.
Other than being outside. So I mean, you don't feel bad for me. It's not like I'm deprived or anything. But I haven't found
Yeah.
that thing with my hands at all.
Yeah.
To recharge. I've tried puzzles and a few different things, but yeah, I'm okay.
But there is one for you out there somewhere, for sure.
There's got to be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there is.
Yeah, a walk does wonders, and
Yes, yes.
so yeah. Well, that's our time for the day, and awesome to hear about the story and the passion behind the project, the people behind the product, and yeah, I think there's so much more we could chat about, but maybe for another time. Anyways, Alain, thanks so much for giving us your morning and sharing the story.
Well, thank you very much. It just made me reflect a lot. Also, that's one thing we have to do is reflect a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And this was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.